Welcome back, folks. The Nebraska High School State Rodeo wrapped up earlier this month out west in Valentine. Yesterday, we showed 3 talented young ropers and riders. Now we have a look at a few more. 3 boys, all brothers. 2 of them earned Best Cowboy in the state of Nebraska at their competition level. SportsFource's Irvin Doman brings us the story on the Schrunk boys, this week's SportsFource Champions.
Rodeo across the Cornhusker State is not only a competition to see who excels at the highest level in their events, but it's also about building relationships and friendships through a shared love of rodeo culture. For Pender sophomore Cato Schrunk, that friendship began years ago with his new team roping partner that lives nearly 5 hours away.
We kind of talked about it in junior high, and then last year I roped with someone else, and then this year we decided we'd give it a go.
For Cato and his partner, Parker Noakes, it worked out about as good as anyone could imagine, a first-place finish in the short go with a time of 9.15 seconds. Cato also claimed the overall champion at the high school state rodeo, making him the best cowboy of the year at that level in the state. A huge accomplishment and one that means a lot to him as he puts what his father taught him into titles.
I started a long time ago when I was little. My dad roped all throughout his life, and he helped me throughout. So.
That mentorship extends down the family tree as well. Cato's younger brothers Cooper Schrunk and Colin Schrunk competed at the Junior High Nationals hosted in Des Moines from the 22nd through the 25th of June. Cooper, like his big brother, earned the overall state championship in Nebraska at the junior high level. For the younger Schrunks, it's about soaking in the knowledge from the people around them.
They're like a backbone. Everything just flows with them. They help a lot. They're a lot of the reason why I'm so successful.
Listening to my dad and my brothers and my mom, obviously, then help listening to some people behind the buck and shoots.
Cato is set to compete at the National High School Finals Rodeo in Rock Springs, Wyoming, taking place from July 13th through the 19th. Near Pender, Nebraska, Irvin Doman, KTIV SportsFource.